Well, the second main event to SummerSlam is set, and we have a big return on SmackDown this week, coming to you live from Oklahoma City. So, with that, welcome to the 716 Sports Entertainment Podcast, SmackDown edition from July the 10th. I am your host, Mike, joined by Mr. Real Deal, Sean O'Neill. And Sean, how did we like SmackDown this week? I think it was kind of a bit of a better show, finally.
For once, it felt like SmackDown was on the upswing, and I don't know if it was due to the seismic shift at the top of the card or just maybe the fact that there were some coherent stories going on. But it definitely felt like a much better show this week. I didn't watch it last night. I watched it this morning, and I know I was thoroughly sports entertained.
Yeah, let's talk about that opening segment and kind of what was sort of one of the major talking points from the show, and that was of course the return of Nick Aldis as the general manager unsuspended now and or on not on leave anymore, I guess, and he comes out to introduce the crowd to the new Blue Universal Champion, CM Phil Punk, and Punk comes out initially starts cutting kind of a weird promo about like getting drafted to the USA Network and some like backstage stuff to like, become an agent of SmackDown or some kind of nonsense that just didn't really seem to matter. And then this immediately got him going on to his usual shtick about I'm going to be a fighting champion. And he started rattling off names of people that, he expects to have a match with, but who are in the locker room. Mentions obviously a rematch for Sami Zayn, calls out Gunther, calls out Finn Balor, calls out Royce Keys, surprisingly, but doesn't mention Cody. And this, of course, brings out Cody Rhodes, who doesn't really have much to say. Kind of has a weird comment about Punk's eye, which was a little weird. And ultimately, the match for SummerSlam, which everybody kind of knew was coming, the worst kept secret in wrestling, became official. And yeah, I gladly got there. It was a wonky way with which to get there. But I think after looking at it a little while, I think it was probably the right way to get there, especially after putting the title on Sammy, which was probably a mistake to begin with. I think that getting it onto Punk and then having it be Punk versus Cody for the title, because Punk wasn't going to get booed in Chicago, obviously. So I think they made I think they made chicken salad out of chicken, you know what? Probably the best they could here.
I still feel bad for Sammy. I feel like they should have just not put the title on him yet and held off until the actual right time because I feel like this does nothing but hurt him on a personal level. However, I will say there was that segment backstage with Punk and Gargano and what the hell's her name? Candice LeRae, that I think she actually made a couple good points to Punk about how it was kind of BS that he just kind of swooped in and was like, yep, here's my title shot. I'm just going to take it. So I do think that that can play into an overall storyline pretty well. But it's just, we all knew we were going to get Cody Punk. And it was a little bit of a rambling promo, but I get what he was trying to do. He was trying to explain why he's been off TV for 3 months and the fact that this has all been behind the scenes stuff of trying to get him drafted over to SmackDown. So I get where they were coming from. It just came across as a little bit weird.
I mean, it wasn't nearly as rambly as Seth Rollins was on Monday night. So
Yeah, but that's also because Seth Rollins had to carry that entire promo pretty much by himself.
I still think it was rambly.
Oh, it was, 100%. But like I said, at least Punk had somebody to come out there for most of the promo with him. Not just like how LA Knight came out at the very end of Rollins' promo.
Right. So what do you think we're going to get out of this over the course of the next few weeks here as we build towards SummerSlam? Obviously, next weekend we're going to get a tag team match between Sammy and Gunther versus Punk and Cody, which I don't actually know who wins that, to be completely honest with you. Punk's not going to get pinned, but I could see Cody taking a pin there. I could also see Sammy taking a pin there. I don't really
It'll
know.
it's either going to end in a no contest or Sammy taking the pin. I feel like Cody doesn't take I don't neither Punk nor Cody take the pin. I feel like that's kind of stupid. Is that confirmed that we're getting that?
Yeah, I think they all but said it right when Gunther and Aldis were in the ring at the end of the show.
Yeah. Because I mean, we're gonna get Cody and Gunther a couple times with Cody being the only one who came to Aldis's aid, and I mean at this point, like, how do you even tell a story that Aldis is at all at fault for anything that he did? I mean, Gunther put his hands on him. You know what I mean? So I feel like that's gonna play into this, and they're doing that thing that they've done on Raw for a while now, where you have a ton of different storylines orbiting the one main storyline, and it's part of why Raw works as well as it does. You have all these guys who are at the top of the card who you can slot in and out of storylines because they're all orbiting and in storylines that are partially involved in the overall overarching plot.
Yeah, I like that. I like when you have multiple contenders around the title. And I think, to be completely honest with you, right now, I'm really of the mind that Cody needs to lose at SummerSlam.
I agree. I think
And
Punk needs
he needs to lose clean.
the rumor is that they plan on giving Punk a long title reign. So, barring any sort of goofy injury like we all know Punk can sometimes get, I feel like we're gonna see maybe all the way till WrestleMania and Cody Punk too.
Yeah, I could probably get behind that. And Cody can win it back there, I think. I don't I don't I definitely don't want to see Cody just win, right? Like have the whole
No.
thing kind of be over with. I don't really want to go back to Cody as champion, right? Like right away. Like I want to do so I want to do like some of those I want to do the Bálor match again. I want to do a Royce Keys match. I'd like to do a match with
Gunther.
Solo, with Gunther. I'd like to
Sorry,
do all of those
Gunter.
matches, right? I would like to do all of those matches again. I think honestly, I think Cody and Gunter are gonna go into a feud right after SummerSlam.
Yeah, I think that
I think and Cody
Gunter is
needs to
going to
take
beat
some L's
Aldis.
too. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. He's gonna definitely beat Aldis, but I think Cody needs to take some L's for a little while.
Cody getting the title back on him would be a huge mistake because, as much as I hate to say it, it's part of the problem with where SmackDown was the last few months. Like, ever since the WrestleMania and right before WrestleMania, when Cody won the title back from Drew, it just it became very stagnant, I think. And as much as we're big Cody Rhodes fans here, you can only do so much with how they were trying to tell the stories.
Do you have any inkling that Randy Orton is going to cost Cody Rhodes this match at SummerSlam?
I don't think so. I would like to see something like that, but I can't imagine that. I mean, there's been no rumblings at all of Randy Orton having any sort of return. So I would be very shocked if he cost him. Now Gunther or Sammy I could see, but I mean I think Sammy's going to be a thorn in everybody's side for the next several months.
What are you going to do with Sammy?
If I'm him or if I'm WWE, I have him be a super pest and be have him just having an issue with absolutely everybody. I mean, we all saw his promo after he lost on Monday, and I think it was 100% the right promo and 100% justified. He got screwed, and I think that is a perfect storyline to tell with him over the next several months.
Does he get a singles rematch with Punk?
I do think so. He loses, but I think that he gets it. I could see I could see Gunther costing him too.
Do you think that Sammy wins the title again?
As much as I would like to say yes, because of just the way they kind of hosed him, I have a hard time seeing them putting it back on him,
I do too.
which sucks.
I don't think he's going to win the title again.
No, and that's very unfortunate. I really wish that WWE would have done what we had originally predicted for him and held off until WrestleMania.
And what about Gunter? Do you think he's going to win the title anytime soon?
Oh, not for a little while, but I do think he gets the title back at some point. Wouldn't honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if he was the one to beat Punk down the road.
Yeah, yeah, I could see that.
Get back his loss to him at SummerSlam from last year.
Yeah, yeah,
I
no, I
will
get that.
say it did kind of surprise me that they didn't drag this out a little bit longer as far as the announcement for SummerSlam for this, considering we still have the Saturday night's main event. You know what I mean?
Mhm. I feel like the Saturday night's main event should have just been the singles match between Sammy and Punk. But then
Yeah,
like then you're kind of just done with Sammy and like what do you do with him at that point? So I guess I kind of like your idea about him being the thorn in everybody's side for a little while and he'll probably try and attack people backstage or just be like an absolute menace, or whatever.
to the point where like KO has to come back and be like, Sammy, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't know how close Owen I don't think Owens is gonna be wrestling anytime soon, but he could definitely cameo and have a talking segment on television.
Exactly.
So the first match of the evening saw Finn Balor defeat Tama Tonga after, a backstage segment from last week, which saw the Tongans attack Balor as, he kind of had his intro to the Blue Brand. And this match was awesome. I mean, it had, the usual interference spots from the big Tongan, but Finn Balor picked up the win as he rightfully should have. It, has him be a credible person to be in the main event on the Blue Brand, which I think he should be. And I liked everything about this. I thought this match was excellent, and I think Balor was in desperate need of kind of a refresh and a reset. And I think this is the right way to do this.
So while I do agree that I think the match itself was fantastic, I think having Balor win this particular one was a mistake. I think you should have utilized the Tala factor and had that play into Tama winning. I think that gives you a better reason to continue these two feuding, but I could also see them having Tama Tonga be like, I can't be done with you yet because you're still the part of the past that I'm trying to get rid of. So I guess I could see them continuing their feud that way, because I definitely don't think they're done. They're gonna have some sort of feud and some sort of specialty match at some point.
Yeah, I mean, I like it that WWE can like acknowledge the history that like wrestlers have, even if it's outside of WWE, like all the stuff here that these guys had going back to NJPW. It would have been cool if they would have been able to like get some footage or something like that to show, or whatever. I don't see why they can't do those things anymore. And like, it's 2026. Like, I don't understand why these companies can't like be civil with one another and show old footage. But regardless, I am of the mind that Tama and Tala will probably go back to being a tag team. I think probably after this is over, maybe they'll recapture those SmackDown tag team titles because they seem kind of wasted on Truth and Priest right now, to be completely honest with you. And I don't know what the hell they're doing against the Viking War Experience Raiders. Like if they're gonna have that match or if or they're gonna end up fighting the Usos or like what the hell is going on, after that weird backstage segment that they had. Um, but I think we need to get the tag titles off of those guys and get them onto a proper tag team.
Yeah, that was definitely. I mean, it was fun while it lasted. But you're right. We're at the point now where they should be working on building up an actual tag team to put it on, even if it is the Viking experience. Um, but I don't know because apparently Priest is spending some time down in Mexico now as well, in addition to SmackDown. So I guess I could see him winning both sets, winning the AAA titles and showing up with both sets.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I just we've said it for a while on this channel. I feel like we need to just get to one set of tag team titles across both shows and just have proper tag teams kind of facing off for them and and see kind of where we go from there.
They don't have enough tag teams across each show to be able to properly do it. Whereas if you do it as a whole division, I think you're able to tell better stories.
Yeah.
Which is crazy when you talk a year ago with the teams that they had.
Yeah. And how most of them are gone now. And like other than goofy comedy segments, where's Axiom? Like
Yeah, I mean, you've had them in singles matches instead of tag team matches.
yeah, I don't know. Next we had Jimmy Uso and Jacob Fatu in the ring after a commercial break to call out Solo Sikoa, but it was Royce Keys who showed up instead. He said uh, Big Jim's quote family business was starting to affect him, and him and Fatu got into it a little bit. This obviously led to a match between Jimmy and Royce. This was fun. I like that they're like utilizing Royce Keys now, and he definitely looked superior to Jimmy Uso until Solo kind of got himself involved at the end, which got Fatu kind of back to fight him off, and ultimately had Uso hit him with the spear that frankly looks better than his brother's to pick up the win. And this then kind of saw Royce Keys kind of get pissed at Jacob and pissed at Jimmy. But ultimately, it was Jacob that stood tall in this segment after it was over with. And I kind of want to ask you, like, I like that, like, Royce Keys is getting screen time. However, what are we doing with Jacob Fatu? Like, what are we doing here?
So I feel like they're going to tell the story of Royce Keys being the one to try to talk sense into him from being Mr. Right hand man now to being back like to the normal Jacob. And I think that that's what it's going to come down to is the two like Royce Keys having to either fight him into coming back or something along those lines.
You think Royce Keys is going to join this grouping of him and LA Knight and Solo Sikoa?
I could see it, especially if it leads to a War Games or whatever multi-man match at Survivor Series.
Just kind of like looking at it right now, the only thing that, and I know I don't want to see another bloodline fucking, oh, pardon my language. I don't want to see another bloodline like Civil War nonsense Survivor Series kind of thing, but I don't know where else we could go with this, to be completely honest with you.
No, now I mean when your only other option right now is the Vision who gets hurt when you look at him wrong. Um, I don't think there's anywhere else you can go at the moment.
Well, the Vision are kind of done with Seth Rollins right now, so like I don't foresee that thing going on any further. I mean,
Right,
they're still kind
but
of doing a thing against the Street Profits and Joe Hendry's, sort of, but Joe Hendry's doing his own thing too, so I don't know.
it's yeah, I think that you either do something with the bloodline or you work your way back to like some sort of traditional SmackDown versus Raw type match.
Yeah, I really wish that they would just,
Even if it was a SmackDown versus Raw War Games match,
yeah.
I could
By the
get
way,
behind that.
did you notice Jimmy's gear was an homage to Naomi a little bit with the
Yeah,
caution tape? I kind of
yep.
like that. That was cool.
She
We
should
did
be coming back
have,
soon, right?
I don't know. I assume she had the baby. I don't know. I have heard nothing about it.
Huh.
Um,
Interesting.
Next, we had the Jade Brigade beat up Alexa Bliss. This was kind of a nothing match. I feel like I heard that Alexa Bliss might have injured her elbow in this match, which would be less than ideal. Um, I have just nothing to say about this at all. I mean, Jade just she makes way too many mistakes. Way too many mistakes. And this match was so sloppy.
It
It
really
was just
was.
such a sloppy match. And Alexa put up she attempted to like sell and put up a good fight, and just like, I don't care about this. I don't care about this at all. I don't know where we're going with this, and I just don't care.
This the Jade Brigade feels like a Vince McMahon stereotype come back to life. Like
Yeah,
it's
it does.
just it's not original. It doesn't do anything to help the three of them look good. I mean, some of them look kind of ratchet sometimes. It just I don't know. And and what can I say about Jade that like
We haven't already
we
said.
yeah, she's just not good. And the only positive is the fact that Alexa Bliss is double jointed. So I have no doubt that she popped her elbow backwards intentionally so that it looked like it was worse than it actually was.
Because it looked pretty gross, dude. It looked
Yeah.
pretty gross.
I mean, do you not remember when she did that to, I think it was Bailey in a match, where she got like DDT'd or something and hit her arm and popped her elbow out and was like, oh God, I'm injured. And then Bailey was like, oh no. And she turned around, popped it back in, and rolled up Bailey. Yeah, Alexa, for anybody who doesn't know, Alexa Bliss is double jointed, so she can do that.
I didn't know this. I
Yeah,
remember one time Rhea popped her shoulder back in at WrestleMania against Charlotte, and it was like really disgusting, but it was
I
also
remember that.
awesome.
But yeah, no, Alexa Bliss is double jointed.
Yeah, that's interesting. Um, hmm. Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, this is obviously leading towards the Charlotte Jade match at some point, and I don't really know how that's going to go anymore. And to be honest with you, I don't really care how that's going to go anymore.
Hopefully Charlotte wins. That's all that matters.
I would assume so, but who knows? Who knows anymore? Like with WWE and how they're going to do
Right.
things. So I mean, maybe this is finally where we have Alexa turn on Charlotte.
Yeah,
And again, though, can you imagine Alexa joining the Jade Brigade? Oh, that would be dreadful.
that would be horrendous.
I don't know if I'd like that too much. And then next was the big surprise of the evening, which saw Trick Williams and Carmelo Hayes finally get a chance to have their match for the U.S. title. And this match was going to be something else, but it got a surprise return of one Constable Baron Corbin, the loneliest of wolves, the general manager of Monday Night Raw. Happy Corbin has returned to WWE and beat the piss like literally beat the brakes out of both of these guys and hit the end of days on Mello, which looks so smooth. I forgot how much I love that finisher.
Yep.
And yeah, this was a lot of fun. And he immediately picked up the gaudy ass US title that Trick was wearing. And I loved everything about this. And I think this is a great spot for him.
So very was very surprised that this was where he returned. He looked great. I mean, the guy's been staying busy on the indie circuit. I know he was working with MLW, and honestly, he's one of the guys that I was surprised that was released in the first place, considering what a company guy he's always been known to be, and the fact that he's willing to do whatever they tell him to, like put dog food all over himself against Roman Reigns. But hopefully this time around, he has a much better run with WWE. I would like to see him come out, be dominant. I would be fine with him being the one to take the title off Trick and have a nice dominant run with it.
I know he won the briefcase before, and I know he won maybe tag team titles before, but has he won a singles title?
I believe he may have been U.S. champion. Let me take a look.
Yeah, I don't know. I know he's never won the main title. I know he's competed for the main title, but I don't think he ever won the main title. He
He was
headlined
one. He was one of
he
the few
headlined a
people who lost the Money at the Bank briefcase. He lost it to John Cena, caused him to lose it.
Yeah, I remember that. He main evented a PLE against Rollins and Becky with Lacey Evans. I remember that.
Yep. And he got
That
death
was when
threats because of it.
because he hit Becky with the end of days.
So he's won the United States Championship, the NXT Tag Team Championships, the 2017 Money at the Bank, the 2016 Andre the Giant Battle Royal, and the 2019 King of the Ring tournament.
Never was a tag team champion.
No, just in NXT.
Hmm. Didn't he go back to NXT like later while he was on the main roster? And isn't that when he won the tag team
Yeah,
titles?
because he was helping with somebody. I don't remember who it was.
It was Breaker. It was him and Braun Breaker,
Oh, you're right. Yeah, him and Breaker won
right?
the belts. Yes.
Yeah, it was him and Braun Breaker that won the belts, and they were like a dominant tag team for like 6 months. They like killed everybody.
You know, with the Braun Breaker revamp that is needed, I would have been okay if they brought him back as some sort of foil to Braun too.
They could still do that. It's early.
Because you need to figure out some way to build Breaker back up, and what better way to do it with somebody who you could trust?
Yeah, I mean, I think you need to build Corbin up a little bit for the folks who've forgotten him for a little while. But I could see 6 months from now or even a year from now them doing that. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Those two guys calling on their history. Hell, even Breaker going to SmackDown. I could see that being a thing eventually.
Yeah.
So, and then the closing segment of the show saw the Gunther and Aldis segment, which we talked about, which saw Gunther, demand the title match, and this led to the tag team match being set for Saturday night's main event. And it saw Gunther ultimately putting Nick Aldis to sleep, and I think this inevitably sets a match between these two guys at SummerSlam.
100%. I don't quite understand why they had Cody wait so long to come out and rescue him, though. That seemed kind of dumb to me. Like,
Yeah, was it just me, or did it seemed to cut off air like kind of quick?
it did. It was because it was because they had him keep beating up Aldis for like an unusual amount of time, only for Cody to come out and 10 seconds later the screen to go to black. Like
No,
it was
that was kind
real
of weird.
bizarre the timing of it. And I don't know. But you're right. This I've been saying it for a little while now that I'm pretty sure that Aldis has wanted to be able to have one last shot at being in a WWE ring, and this is his opportunity to do it. I think him and Gunther will be able to put on a very good match. He's a bigger guy, so it should be hard hitting, and I think it's going to have a similar result to the way McAfee earned Gunther's respect.
Yeah, I have no doubt. I mean, Gunther's one of those guys who can put on a great match with the burlap sack.
Yeah,
So, I think it'll be fine. Gunther will win, like 1,000%. Gunther will win because that would be idiotic if they had Aldis beat him. But
yeah.
I think it'll be fine. So I have no problem with it. But yeah, I gotta say I kind of enjoyed this episode of SmackDown. It was easy to watch, and I didn't find myself, other than the Jade stuff, I didn't really find myself sort of rolling my eyes. And I think that CM Punk was the shot in the ass that this show needed. And I feel like wrestling in general is kind of doing a little bit of a reset. And what I mean by that is CM Punk being a shot in the ass there, and Kenny Omega winning the WCW title, I think is a big, kind of a reset as well, for WCW as they go into their big summer shows as well. I
You know
think
why,
that,
right?
yeah, because they want to do the match with him and Osprey at the Wembley show.
And MJF is hurt. He's been
Yeah,
working with a bad knee.
yeah, and I think him versus Osprey is a bigger match at the stadium show.
Yep, because
It might be
Osprey's
one of
gonna.
the Yeah, it might be one of the last times they can do it, so I'm perfectly fine with that. I think Kenny Omega versus Will Ospreay at Wembley is a is probably the biggest match that AEW can put on.
Yeah, and I mean AEW has never been very good at long-term storytelling, but this is one of the few times where they've actually been doing it, so it should be a hell of a match. I know
And
I'll
I think
actually
they're going
watch
to
it.
be, yeah, and I think they're going to be lucky to have Kenny Omega for like another 18 months, to be completely honest with you, because that's another one who's in the twilight of his career and he's got a million things wrong with him. And I don't know how much longer that dude can go.
I mean, especially with the fact that he has no internal organs.
Yeah, he's got the diverticulitis, right?
Yeah, like Lesnar.
Yeah, so, and he's like got a million injuries too. So, I mean, he's in his late 40s, so like, he's not gonna be able to do this much longer. But anyway, I digress. So anyway, that was SmackDown. So what is your final rating for the show?
Well, because there wasn't a Danhausen segment, I give it an F. Now, it overall, I like you said, this was actually a more than watchable show. It felt like a much better quality. So I give it a 4 out of 5.
Yeah, I really like this show a lot, and I think we half-assedly got there, but we're going to get Punk versus Cody. I love the Corbin return. I love the Bálor Tama Tonga match. I think we need to figure out what we're doing with these tag team titles, and I kind of feel like Jade is still the only thing that kind of drags this show down. So I think with that, my final rating for the show is the man who retired Kurt Angle, the Golden Glove award winning boxing wrestling champion, the general manager of Raw, Constable Corbin, out of 5.
The loneliest wolf.
The loneliest of wolves.
I will say, you know who I like Tama Tonga's new music.
I didn't even notice it, to be
Yeah, like
completely
his
honest.
solo music.
I didn't even notice it. So anyway, that is our show, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. As always, smash that subscribe button as we make our way to 10K. We appreciate all the support. And I have been Mike, joined by Mr. Real Deal. Have yourselves a fantastic evening and take care.